Hi everyone. Welcome back to Revenge Recall Reddit Stories. This post comes from the subreddit Relationship Advice, written by a user named IndividualDiamond606. My mom, in her 60s, tried to force me, 35, female, and my sister, 32, to make up, but it completely backfired. Now I'm not sure I want her in my life anymore. Here's some background. When I was 16, I started dating my brother's best friend. We were together until I graduated high school, and then he proposed, but I turned him down. My family wanted me to reconsider, but I stuck to my decision. This caused some problems with my brother, 36, but it was worse with my sister, 32. She thought he was perfect for me, and when she started dating his brother, she became really pushy about us getting back together. My ex was invited to everything, even family holidays, and I didn't say anything at first since he was also their friend, but when my sister kept pushing for us to get back together, I had enough. I asked my parents to step in, and they told my siblings to stop inviting my ex to everything, which helped a little. My brother stopped, but my sister didn't. Things finally hit a breaking point when I met my now husband while studying abroad. We clicked right away, and after a year, we got engaged. My family was happy for me, except my sister. She kept saying I was just in a honeymoon phase. After a lot of fights and her trying to get me back with my ex, I told her that if she tried again, I would cut her out of my life. What does she do? She made me her maid of honor and planned to have me spend all my time with the bridal party, which included my ex. She also set my husband up with one of her friends at the reception, and the girl tried to flirt with my husband. My sister said that since we weren't married yet, it was fine for us to explore other people. I left the party, and the next day, I told my parents and brother that while I wasn't making them choose between us, I would never speak to my sister again. I warned them that if they tried to fix things between us, I'd cut them out too. My mom was heartbroken and tried to talk me into changing my mind, but my dad and brother respected my decision. After 2 attempts from my mom, I haven't spoken to my sister in 6 years. She's tried everything to make up, from sending gifts to throwing tantrums, but I won't talk to her at all. At family events, I just ignore her. At first, she tried making snarky comments and causing drama, but no one supported her, so she gave up. She had a meltdown when she found out she was invited to my wedding but wouldn't be part of any of the planning. My brother says he feels guilty for going along with it for so long, and his relationship with my ex has been affected. They still talk, but they're not as close anymore. A couple of weeks ago, I shared the news that we're expecting our first child. It's not the first grandchild, but it's the first granddaughter, so everyone was excited, except my sister. My mom noticed and asked me to meet her for tea. Something felt off, but I went anyway. When I arrived, I saw my sister's car, and when I walked in, I found my sister, her husband, my ex, and my ex's mom there. They wanted to intervene because they thought I was being childish. My ex said he was just trying to be romantic, but he understood that I didn't appreciate it. His mom said I was just hurting my sister, who wanted the best for me, and that she'd already apologized, so I should forgive her. I just sat there, texting my family, dad, brother, and husband, while my mom started reading a letter about how sad she was that my sister and I weren't close. My sister then read her own letter, crying and saying pretty much the same things. I didn't respond to anyone. I just sat there in silence until my brother showed up. He was furious and grabbed my stuff, saying he was disgusted by how they all treated me. We went outside and waited in his car until my dad and husband arrived. By then, I was crying, and my brother kept apologizing. I'm not sure what exactly happened inside, but I emailed everyone except my mom with my lawyer's contact information, saying I didn't want to hear from them again. If they tried to reach me, I would call the police. Nobody has contacted me since, but my dad told me that my mom and sister are upset. They told him they hoped to fix things so my sister could be involved in my baby's life, maybe even be a godmother. My dad is staying with my brother now, and they both support me. Some of the rest of the family isn't happy with my decision, and mutual friends have called me, saying they're worried about my sister's well-being because she's now telling people that my husband is keeping me away from my family. I didn't want my personal life to be public, but I ended up posting everything on Facebook. Now my sister-in-law, brother-in-law, and ex are all getting some negative attention, which, even if I didn't mean for it to happen, I think they deserve. My mom is really upset, which does make me feel bad, but I'm not as upset as she probably wants me to be. A couple of days ago, I agreed to talk to her and set clear rules for any future relationship. This includes therapy, clear boundaries, no sharing information about me with my sister, separate holidays, And, most importantly, if she ever tries to do something like this again, she'll be cut off for good. My mom thinks these rules are too strict, but she said she's willing to follow them. She thought this meant I'd immediately let her back into my life, but I told her it's a process and she has to prove she's changed. My dad and brother refuse to talk to my sister and keep apologizing for not stepping in sooner. I've forgiven them since they've shown they can grow and learn from this. My husband is supportive of whatever I decide, but my mother-in-law isn't sure if cutting my mom off from seeing my daughter is the right choice. She says it's my decision, though. I'm still unsure about what to do with my mom. Creature's shock. I'm surprised your ex, who I'll call a stalker, is still in your brother's life. Stick to your rules with your mom, don't set any timelines. She needs to prove she can follow your boundaries. Your sister has to deal with the consequences of her actions. Dopey response. To be fair, my brother did start distancing himself from my ex when I told my parents I wasn't comfortable with my ex being around all the time. I was away at college, but I'd visit during breaks. My brother also made a big effort to welcome my husband, which made my ex feel betrayed. Now, my husband is one of my brother's closest friends, and he only talks to my ex when it's about our nephew or out of politeness. I'm no longer in touch with my family. I realized it's impossible to cut off some family members but not others. In situations like this, the family dynamic is the problem. Your family could have stopped this a long time ago, but they didn't. It's good that your dad and brother are on your side now, but your mom probably won't change. No one has the right to stay in your life. Your sister clearly has her own issues, and they won't get better without therapy and some self-reflection. For me, trying to manage people with strict rules like therapy or no discussions about certain topics didn't work. They pushed the boundaries because they thought their way was best. Since I decided to accept them as they are and cut them out of my life, I found peace and calm. OP's response. This is the hardest part for me. I've been able to mostly ignore my sister and her husband, but now that it's about my mom, I feel torn. By the time I stopped talking to my sister, our relationship was already so bad that I didn't care anymore, but my mom is different. She really hurt me with that intervention. Yo mama's comment. I'm so sorry, your sister is awful, and you did the right thing cutting her out. Any pain she's feeling is because of her own actions. As for your mom, what she did was selfish and manipulative. Parents should want their kids to do what's best for them, and that's what you've done. If you want her to have a relationship with your child, maybe ask her to apologize, admit what she did wrong, and promise never to do it again. Therapy should be part of that process. OP's response. I would miss my mom. She was a great mom until my sister went off the rails. Additional info from OP's comments. My ex and I broke up when I was 18. He's now 37. The reason we broke up is that I didn't want to get married or engaged. My sister wants us to get back together because she's obsessed with the idea of us marrying brothers and being close. My mom always seemed nice to my husband, but now I'm starting to wonder if it was all just an act, which makes me sad. My ex has been with other people since our breakup. He even has 2 kids with someone else but has never married. My sister thinks it's romantic that he's never married anyone but me. I should also mention that his obsessive behavior isn't just with me. I've heard he was like this with his ex, too. Now he's refocusing on me because my sister encourages it, hoping it'll get me to forgive her so she can be a good aunt. Both my parents seemed okay with me not wanting to be around my ex, but it seems like only my dad really agreed. When my mom invited me over for tea, she said it was just for us, but then she invited my ex and his mom too. My dad left to hang out with my uncle, thinking it was a nice gesture. He's really angry about it now. My husband tried really hard to get along with my sister, but now he ignores her and thinks she's mentally unwell. We're not sure if she is, but that doesn't excuse her behavior. They invited my ex and his mom because they thought it would help me face the issues with my sister. Just to clarify, we're not Indian and aren't really religious. My husband and I are from the same background, and there's no major wealth difference. If anything, my husband has more. My sisters-in-law, my brother's wife and my husband's sisters, are furious about everything. My husband and his sisters plan to talk to their mom about what she said. My brother and his wife are thinking about cutting off my mom completely for now and won't let her see their kids. The more I think about this, the more I feel like I might have to go no contact with my mom for the sake of my child. My husband is heartbroken to think that everything they did together was fake. He's even more upset that my mom made me doubt myself. I know there are still many conversations to have with my family about my mom, but I'm definitely considering a restraining order against my sister and my ex. Update 1. The state of my family so far. I had a talk with my mom, but she still thinks she knows what's best. She says I'm a bad person and that she'll try to get grandparents' rights or even custody of my child. I know that's not true, but I panicked, so we sent her a letter about it. My dad moved out for good. He told her he couldn't stay with her treating his kid like that. My brother and his wife also decided to cut ties with her. I know it happened fast, but after the intervention, I realized how much pain I was in. My husband told my family they need to think carefully about what they value and be kind and open to things, but we won't raise our child in such a toxic environment. That's one of the reasons I love my husband so much. He's really hurt by my mom's behavior. He says she won't get anything from him, even if she tries to get revenge. My husband and his sister spoke to my mother-in-law about her comment and helped her understand how wrong it was. She's a very loving mom from a loving family. My dad and brother keep apologizing for anything they did to make things worse. My dad can't believe it has gotten this far. He says it still feels unreal, but they both support me and are ready to help me fight any battles with my mom or sister. Update 2, final update. Thank you so much for the kind messages and support. Things are both good and bad right now, but I'm trying to stay positive. My brother and his wife sat down with my nephews and explained that grandma was sick and tried to hurt me and my baby. They told the kids that grandma wouldn't be in their lives anymore, but that doesn't mean she doesn't love them. The kids are smart, and they understood. They were also told that the other aunt, my sister, isn't in their lives anymore, but they don't care. They actually don't like her because she hasn't been great with them either. When my mom found out, she flipped out and claimed she had rights and should be able to see her grandkids. My dad is looking for a permanent place to live but will stay with us until January because my brother's mother-in-law is coming to visit, and we have the space. He's really sad and has already spoken to divorce lawyers and moved his finances. He's been getting tons of calls, messages, and emails from my mom, but he doesn't respond. His lawyer told him not to block her right now. He thought about forgiving her, but things got worse when she showed up at my house with my sister. My sister had never been to my house before. My mom knew I didn't want her there, but I guess that doesn't matter. The cleaning lady let them in since she knows my mom, and I hadn't had the chance to tell her they weren't allowed in anymore. I was coming home from running errands when I saw their car. This time, I didn't go inside. Instead, I called my family, and my sister-in-law, my husband's sister, was the closest one. She confronted them and told them to leave or she would call the police for trespassing. They left, but I started feeling bad. We went to the doctor, and they told me all the stress wasn't good for me or the baby. I needed to relax. My dad went home with my brother, uncle, and husband, and they took everything they could think of. My husband said my sister was there too, and she kept yelling at him, saying he ruined her family. My dad told my mom and sister that they almost caused harm to the baby and that he doesn't want to talk to either of them again. My sister kept messaging my brother, begging for help, but he's not going to help her. I feel terrible for my nephew, since he's losing so much of his family because of his mom's crazy ideas, but it is what it is. As for the custody and grandparents' rights my mom keeps talking about, my lawyer sent her a letter saying she caused harm to me and the baby. If she keeps harassing me, it'll become a legal matter. My brother also sent her a letter, using her harassment as evidence. Both my mom and sister refused to go to therapy. They might have mental health issues, but it's clear they've been on the same page for a long time. I'm going to focus on spending the holidays with my family, staying healthy, and going to therapy. Comment. It's tough that your family situation fell apart with your mom and sister acting so out of control, but like you said, it is what it is. What's best for you now is being away from them. You're doing great with your resolutions and have an amazing husband by your side. Video outro. Thanks for sharing your story, Op. Take care. And now, it's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I really enjoyed reading them to you. If you did, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with anyone you think might enjoy my storytelling. Also, check the video description for links to our Discord community and my channel merch. Thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. I'll see you all in the next video.